This is Out of the Box with your host, Jonathan Clark. Out of the Box, Sunday nights at 9 on Q1043.
The new album is Starcatcher. It's coming out July 21st. They are on tour, coming to the Garden September 12th. Also on the beach at the See Here Now Festival in Asbury Park, September 16th and 17th. All the info, GretaVanFleet.com. We have in the studio half of the band. I don't know where the other guys, we'll just talk about them behind their backs. We got Jake and Sam Kiszka. I spoke with one of you guys, I think right at the end of the pandemic via Zoom, but so much has happened with you guys since then. The first time you were all in our studio in our old building downtown 5+ years ago. The third album now, Starcatcher, coming out in July. Here's my first really probing type of question for you guys.
Here we go. Bring
Have you, this is 60 minutes type stuff. Have you really purchased something that you really didn't need, but you couldn't do it unless you were in Greta Van Fleet? Some really unnecessary, expensive item.
Like a piece of equipment.
It doesn't matter. Could be a car, could be a house, could be, a brush.
I have 4 pianos in my house.
Yeah. I have a U-harp in my house. It's a Gibson-style U-harp, and that thing's it's very expensive.
It's from
I'll
the
just leave it at that.
1800s.
You can look it up.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
should be
Yeah.
in a museum.
Should be, but it's my house, and I play it often.
Nice.
So we can kind of emotionally write off all of these expenses.
It's emotional
Yeah.
write-off.
It's
yeah.
an emotional write-off. We don't
Okay.
have to invest too much in it emotionally.
Tell us some touring highlights over these past few years. Who have you played with on tour that you said maybe, oh my God, I cannot believe we're on tour with them, we're on stage with them, or I met this guy or girl or whatever? Anything come to mind right off the top of your head when I ask you that?
I think being right here
It's with you,
with
Jonathan.
you, Jonathan.
You're so nice.
No,
but I do not believe you, but keep going.
But really, I think that a really big one that's kind of developed over the past few years, kind of post-pandemic, has been our relationship with Metallica and what those lads do, filling up stadiums.
Is it insane to watch them play?
It is. They've had a lot of consistency and they have a lot of passion for what they do, and they take it very seriously, and it's very fascinating to watch kind of this group of people who have dedicated their entire life to doing what they do and doing it really well.
Yeah.
One of my favorite live bands ever. I mean, it's just incredible what they do. 2.5 hours or whatever it is. And this is not easy music to play, obviously. You know what I mean? It's not 4 chords. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and they just crush it every single night.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And you can tell it's a lot of work, but they make it look easy. Lars was telling us that he really enjoys listening to Daniel's drum solo.
Oh,
when
okay.
He's getting his massage to loosen up before the show, and then he goes into his practice room and kind of jams out a little bit. And they're very serious as far as their regimens go, and they eat the same things every day, and they're right down to it. And if that's something we want to be doing when we're that age, I think that that's a pretty great standard to set to.
Well, it's a pretty great job. And why does anybody retire from touring or playing rock and roll? It's like the best job in the world. I mean, I would never retire, but
usually it's forced retirement.
yeah, probably.
that was
You got a
something
point there.
Lars was saying too. He's like, we're still doing it while we can. He's like, I think we've got some years left in us.
Yeah, look at Mick Jagger. I mean,
Yeah.
it's incredible. I mean, I've got to ask you about, is this the first time you're playing Madison Square Garden?
It is, yeah.
Have you been there? Have you ever jammed there before? Or this will be the first for everything?
This will be the first time we've ever stepped foot in Madison Square Garden. And it's like sort of, the Garden of Eden in a way. Because it's like we grew up watching every amazing artist that we've been influenced by play the Garden. Like all of them. You name it, and they've played it. That's like the ethos venue of New York.
Yes.
And so now we get to go and we get to step on stage and literally, we get to walk in the footsteps of our heroes. So that's pretty prolific.
A very specific concert film comes to mind.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Wait, song remains the same?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because there are others. There are many others.
Yeah, they've done so many concert films there. Like the Who's have done some stuff there. And
So
Stones.
we're not gonna
the
do a
Stones. The
concert
Stones did.
film there.
What was that?
Get your yayas
Get Your
out.
Yayas Out,
Yeah, yeah.
We're not going to do a concert film there, though, all right?
Gotta
Don't
film it.
expect us
It's
to.
not gonna
Jonathan.
happen, Jonathan.
We're not
But
gonna do it.
You got to film it at least, and maybe 10 years down the road or something,
Okay, I'll film it. I'll
Right,
film it.
I think retrospective.
with your, Olympus,
Yeah, with my
whatever,
Olympus.
right
Yeah,
there.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I'm just giving you a little heads up. When you get there, you got to walk down the halls, and they have all of these photos. I mean, it goes back, way into the, beginning, because Madison Square Garden initially is not the building that you will be playing in. There was another one. So this is the newer version of that. I mean, still old, but Frank Sinatra and like all the people lying in the hallway.
life.
Yeah.
Wow. So
I
it's
mean,
Frankie boy. Oh, blue eyes.
do you guys still?
Blue Eye Boy.
I think I know the answer to this. Do you guys still live in Frankenmuth, or have you moved on from the hometown?
We've moved to Nashville, actually, right
Ah.
before the pandemic happened.
Tell me about Nashville. It's very popular these
Yeah,
days.
it is, isn't it? It's getting
Music
more popular.
City, That's what it is.
It's brilliant. I mean, so we're just sort of like left Michigan like 8 years ago or something like that, and we were on the road for maybe 5 years, and then
Yes.
we actually right before, so maybe 2020 was it? Yeah, that we decided let's take a break for a sec, and maybe so we kind of moved into Nashville, and then that's the pandemic happened directly after that.
Crazy.
So the timing couldn't have been any better.
and you
than
kind of
that.
need the.
So you got to move out of the
context.
way, and then the pandemic hit. And we're like,
Right,
okay,
yeah.
now we're
We-
here.
We got
Right.
straight out of school and hit the road, and then we just toured and toured. And for the little bits of time we weren't like us touring on the road, we were in the studio, so we would like rent a house for a month and kind of hub out of there. But then the pandemic started setting in, and we needed a place to actually live because it became quite apparent that this wasn't something that was just going to disappear overnight. So
Yeah.
then we all kind of we didn't really talk too much strategy about it, but we all moved to Nashville.
So what do you love about Nashville?
My garden, as we were
Yes.
talking about before.
Tell us about the garden.
Yeah.
Well, I have tomato. I'm just kidding.
No, go. I want to hear it. It's fantastic.
So Nashville is right in the middle of the country, and it's really easy to get to a lot of places.
Which I think
And-
probably initially why the music industry sort of became foundational there, because you're the equidistance between New York and LA,
Right.
And then you're sort of centralized in North America.
Atlanta, not too far, I
Yeah,
suppose, right?
exactly.
Yeah, and also you have to remember we kind of grew up in farm fields and forests,
Mm.
and so the city life is really hard for us, and we spend plenty of time in cities. Just touring,
Right.
Staying in hotel rooms,
Yeah.
going on a bus to venue to venue.
And Nashville evades that sort of that stipulation in a way, because it's very much embraced the sort of the nature of what it is. And Nashville's surrounded by these sort of rock formations. So the city can't really expand anymore. They're just sort of building up in this little region.
Is it true what they say that your waiter might be a better guitar player than you?
Absolutely.
Well, not for
That is
not
right.
for Jake specifically.
Yeah,
but
Not for you.
definitely-
I'm not talking about you,
But
but
definitely for me.
I mean,
funny.
and like everybody.
Yeah, no, everybody's amazing musicians, especially. So we're in sort of East Nashville too, and East Nashville is like very specifically the artist central, hub. I mean, it's like it feels like that's sort of where the musical movement sort of happens, like a Haight-Ashbury or like these sort of. It's like that's like the little hub of
Right.
revolution going on where. You walk down this sidewalk on a Sunday afternoon and you could hear jamming from this house and from that house and from that house.
I love that.
Bands playing and rehearsing, and it's like that whole area hums with the vibration of music. It's like alive and singing. It's so
Yeah, and it's
interesting.
not just music anymore. There's a lot of like film
Mm-hmm.
students. There's a lot
Yeah.
of photography. There's fashion. There's business. So there's a whole like kind of small cultural revolution happening in the
Nashville's
area.
really, yeah, I would say, has embraced the arts. as
I
a
hear there's a
city.
lot of bachorette parties too.
that too. They've embraced that as well.
Like it's
There-
like really bad. Like
there are tons. It is stereotypically, it's hilarious because it's true. You can't go downtown without seeing a few bridal parties going on.
stumbling
Yeah,
down the
in-
street.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
some-
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, Nashville is a business. Like the downtown area is the Nashville like business,
Right.
of essentially tourism. So we like to stay away from the beer pedal carts and
Yeah.
tractor rides,
The
and
party
whatnot.
Right,
buses.
party buses.
Right.
Oons, oons, oons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were recording at this one certain studio, and there was no real place to hang out, so you just kind of went out front and sat. And every like 10 minutes, it's this party wagon would drive by blasting country music. And it was
Oh,
Little bit
man.
of chicken fry.
the most obnoxious thing. It's great.
So speaking of the new album, you did record this in Nashville, correct?
Yes.
The new album is a Starcatcher from Greta Van Fleet. We got Jake and Sam with us. All the info, GretaVanFleet.com. Who is the master? That's what I want to know. Or is it...
Shrouded
I
in
bet
mystery.
you do want to know that.
You would
I
like to
mean,
know that,
is
wouldn't
the
you?
master whoever is listening to the song and they can
You
just
sadistic,
translate
you know that?
and then just that's your master? Or is it
Yeah.
God? Is it religion? What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
I think that was kind of the idea.
Spirituality
with
and
this figure is I think it was, and Josh intended it to be when he was sort of lyrically constructing this, to be not only just like a physical figure but a concept and sort of a philosophy. So I think that the master is sort of a structure of what a belief is or a religion.
could be
or
your girlfriend.
Could be your girlfriend.
Could be your wife.
Could be your
Yeah.
ex-wife.
Right? Yeah. True.
You know, so I think it's totally subjective because it's like it depends on what the viewer is perceiving
Right.
it to be.
It could be God. It could be.
Alan Watts.
Alan Watts.
I
Yeah, it
don't
could
know.
be a cult
Who he's
leader. It
kinda
could be
like-
a priest. Exactly.
I love the song, and I want to play it here in a second, but it's really sort of psychedelic. The video, too. Where did you guys shoot the video?
That was really an interesting location. It was somewhere out towards sort of south Nashville, somewhere
Okay.
in the Franklin area, between that and like a state park over there. I can't remember the name of it. And they just opened up. It's like 140 acres of land, and they're going to do some sort of nature park there, but they haven't started building, so it's just this plot of land, and we were the first people to come in there and do any project or anything or any filming.
It's really cool. It's medieval. You're
Yeah.
carrying swords, and there's fog and everything.
And fire. It's romantic.
Was it a very long and tedious video shoot, or was it one day and wrapped and you're good to
I
go?
would say it was very. It wasn't tedious. It was very fast moving, very exciting, and the other unforeseen element that really worked to our advantage was, it was sunny, it was cloudy, it was rainy, it was clear, so that we got all of these different looks in one day.
Lighting, yeah, totally,
and
yeah.
that's why nobody shoots film. No, there's no real film industry in Nashville because of the weather.
Right, it changed. Like,
It's
wait
all-
5 minutes, it'll change, right?
Exactly. But this time it really worked to our advantage. We're like, okay, it's raining really hard and there's lightning and we can't shoot right now because that's the law.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's go inside the barn and shoot some projector stuff. And so we did some projector stuff with our face. So we kind of were bound creatively, which really makes for an interesting outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing is, like, as you know, we sort of are involved with every step of the process that we do musically, and then in terms of sort of direction as well. So the idea that this music video is really preconceived, there was a lot of premeditation behind it. We had shot lists, we had,
Storyboards.
everything
Yep.
laid out, and so it was like, okay, let's go and do this in one day, and it was pretty amazing. It was really amazing.
And now a song about capes. I think some guys are wearing capes on stage. I know Josh does. Sacred the Thread, or Sacred is the Thread, whatever you want to call it. Tell us about this song,
It's about his jumpsuits.
Yeah, I would just come out and
which
say
are famous, are legendary at this point.
They are. They've grown an audience of all of their own.
I think it's about a lot of things. I sound like such an autist. It's about a lot of things.
An autiste.
It's very conceptual. No, but really, I think the literal meaning behind the whole thing is kind of creating yourself as we go out on stage. Kind of specifically for us, is you kind of have to change when you go out on a stage in front of 10,000
not become a
people.
different person, but a personification of yourself.
Yeah.
Precisely. So I think that if somebody wants to take away the specific meaning for themselves, is it's like, who are you in all these different in these different scenarios?
I think
what are you when you want to do something great or you're preparing to do something important?
I think the song is also a bit about becoming your own hero.
Okay. I love it. We're going to play that right now. It's Greta Van Fleet. We got Jake and Sam from the band with us. They are on tour coming to the Garden September 12th, and the Asbury Park See Here Now Festival September 16 and 17. The new album, everyone go out and buy it, Starcatcher, coming out July 21st. All the info, GretaVanFleet.com. I can't wait to go to the Garden and see you guys just shred.
Yes.
Is it actually a garden?
Is there a garden there?
There are gardens around it. It's called Madison Square Garden.
Oh.
Maybe there was a garden in the back in the day. You know, I don't
now
know.
they put on concerts there. Oh.
Well, the Knicks play there. The Rangers play there. You know, there are political conventions there.
Oh, that's
Wow,
what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
We'll be
We're doing
yeah.
the political convention.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
You'll play anywhere. No, just kidding.
Sure, anyway. Chuck E. Cheese. Who cares?
You name it. You name it.
Can we
Grubhub.
swear on this?
Why not?
Say hi to Josh and Daniel for us. We miss them. We'll get them here next
Hello,
time.
Josh and
Wow.
Daniel. They couldn't make it. They had they're predisposed.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
That's true. We
Listen,
got on a flight from B&A in Nashville, and we were supposed to land in LaGuardia, New York, and they ended up somewhere else.
no way.
Aruba.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not
I'm
Aruba,
sorry.
but
Well,
it's-
sorry, guys. But listen, the new album is great. The new songs sound fantastic. I wish you the best of luck. Stay
Thank you,
healthy.
Jonathan.
Stay happy. We'll
you,
see
sir.
you shredding on the tour. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
We'll see you out there.
This is Out of the Box with your host, Jonathan Clark. Out of the Box, Sunday nights at 9 on Q1043.